To be completely honest, I don't have it all figured out. I wish I did, but the truth is, I don't have it all figured out. But what I realized today driving home from the gym was that that's perfectly okay. And most people that you admire, most people that you and I look up to, they don't got it figured out. My friend Jake, he told me the other day, a little while back, that Chris Bumstead, he saw on a podcast that Chris Bumstead, someone you and I both kind of look up to, cries every single night because he's not happy with what he's doing. And maybe now, a few months later, Chris isn't doing that. But to hear that Chris Bumstead, someone that me and you, almost every single person in our generation look up to, think of this man, this role model, cries every night, that should make you realize no one's perfect. Every single person has their own issues, has their own problems. And I was thinking about that. It's okay, what makes the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who doesn't? And I was like, you know what? The people who succeed, it's not that they don't have problems. It's that they don't let those problems stop them from doing and sticking to what they said they were going to do, sticking to their morals, their beliefs, their values. Because, every single person, the person you see, walking against you on the street, coming towards you, we all got problems in our life. We all got those things that are really tough for us, right? But the thing you ought to just realize is you just got to keep going, because if you just let those problems stop you, the problems aren't going to stop. They're never going to stop. Think about every single point in your life. They're probably never going to stop, and they never will stop. And the sooner you learn to embrace that, the more successful you'll be. I was just thinking piano, something I can play now. Maybe I'll throw a video up, because I don't think I've shared that I play the piano on the channel before. But I self-taught myself piano because we had an old kind of piano sitting in our house, and I was like, man, I love music. Let me see, because I want to be able to play this. I want to be able to play the piano. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And at first, I had only problems, and this might be a typical story, right? But I had problems, but it's I didn't give up, because I was okay, I just started. I should have problems. I wasn't okay, I'm not a pianist by nature, I'm gonna stop. It's I realized yeah, I got some problems, but how am I gonna get better at those problems? It's I'm gonna get better at those things by keep doing and keep just practicing, because the problems aren't gonna stop. And so I started playing piano, and it was really rough. I was just doinking around, and I wasn't very good at it. But about 6 months later, probably sooner, 5 or 6 months, I was playing Moonlight Sonata, which is a pretty complicated and technical piece, if I'm being honest. And I was fluid with my motion too. It started doing this, doinking around, but by the time I was just kept those repetitions going, it was fluid. I was looking, I was feeling like a pianist. I could play that with my eyes closed. I didn't even need the music anymore. And that's kind of a metaphor for life. It's it may sound cliche, but the more you do something, the better you're gonna get at it. So the better you're gonna get at it, the less problems you're gonna have. Because now I can play that piano song, no problem. Now I can squat 315, no problem. And 2 years ago, even a year ago, I was man, I wonder if I'll even get there. But I just kept going, and I just kept working towards those things. The diet, how you look. It's they're all related. We overcomplicate these things. It's just keep doing those things and keep sticking to them. And it might be tough right now, but it's gonna get better. And at the very least, it may not get better, but you're gonna get better at it, so it's gonna feel easier. Cause when you're doing when we're talking about the gym, right? It's 315 on squat. I don't know how much you're squatting. I just surpassed it about a month ago. And now I'm working up mid 300s, but it's not that weight got lighter. It's just that you got better at squatting, at strength, at moving some weight. And that's life. It's not life's ever going to get easier, but you just keep going and you just keep sticking to the plan, and it's going to get easier over time, because you just expose yourself to all those things, all those scenarios. So of course it's going to get easier. But how can you expect to be squatting 3 plates if after one plate you're man, I just don't have it in me? You haven't even seen your potential. You haven't even you haven't even seen your potential. I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but I'm thinking of like some iceberg in like the Arctic Ocean. And like, icebergs are pretty deceiving because when you look at an iceberg, you never know how big the iceberg really is. Like the one that sunk the Titanic, I'm pretty sure they thought it was like a small iceberg. But you're looking at that thing and it's like you don't think it's much, but it could be a huge iceberg underneath like the water. So who are you to give up? Who are you to stop now? So the moral of this talk is like you're always gonna have problems, and every single person you look up to, every single person you see in life, they have problems. It's not like anyone's immune to problems. It's not like anyone deflects them. Every single person, and you might not realize it, but like Alex Ramosi, Andrew Tate, every single person you look up to, who you think is like maybe perfect and maybe they got it figured out, like they all got problems. Chris Bumstead too. When you realize that, it's like, okay, they got problems, I got problems. Now what led to them being successful is that they probably just stuck with it. They probably just kept going because most people just don't keep going. They're too quick to give up. They're too quick to stop. They think, oh, like maybe I'm not gonna ever be this good. Like I can't even do it now. But like one of my favorite things to say is like success curves don't look like this, bro. They don't look like that. A lot of times you're gonna go down and you're gonna think you're going to hell, and then finally at the end you go up, and then it's kind of like light work at that point. I mentioned before Jordan Peterson's success curves. Success goes like usually this, like this, and then boom. Same thing goes for like failing the other way where you're going like down. It's not really going anywhere, and you're gonna go down. So when it rains, it pours. When you're doing good, you're gonna do good. But like if you can't keep going, if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna have that opportunity to be at those places and have the capability of having that great success. So yeah, I just thinking about that on the way home from the gym because it's like we think we have problems, but like one, someone always has it worse than you, and two, like everyone has problems. Like that's just the human nature to have problems. But I also realize that like problems are just situations because like in a real like life or death problem per se, like you either live or you don't, but like situation, just like yes it sucks, it could be this way, it could be that way, it is this way, it's not that bad. You just gotta get your mind around to it. And who's to say that, like say you get injured, I got injured for a year, I couldn't do any pushing, any like back stuff, anything in the gym really. Who's to say like that situation that I was in wasn't for my better, wasn't for my like better down the line, like butterfly effect. One thing leads to another thing, and maybe because of that injury I was able to realize I need to warm up a little bit more cautiously. I need to be careful when I'm doing things. I also need to just like appreciate those things more because in a blink of an eye it could be gone. And like maybe I could be further in my strength journey now, maybe I could be injured, you never know. So like don't look at those things as a bad thing. Like say you got that problem, say you got that setback, say you can't seem to surpass X like as a goal that you've been like working for. Like why are you so quick to give up? Because you might be failing, but as I said before on the channel, like failing is just lessons, failing is just like learning opportunities. Because if you don't fail, it's like how are you going to know not to make those same mistakes down the line? So I don't even look at it like that at this point. It's like if I fail, if something is not going my way, it's like shoot, it's not going my way, but let me see what I can learn from this. Let me see what the situation can teach me, because everything can teach you something. Every single situation. It's just kind of how you look at it, because reality is like simply as it is, and then it's up to you in your mind how you're perceiving it and how you're gonna internalize if it's good, bad, negative, positive. Because like sun isn't good and rain isn't bad, but that's like probably what you think in your head. So stop like putting like labels on things and just like keep going. And there's so much overcomplicated stuff when you're on social media, on YouTube, on all these different things, and you're seeing, okay, this guy got this Lambo and this guy got his yacht, and like he did this, he did that, but like your path is going to be different even if you copy that person. It's not like it's going to lead you to that thing, because if you're following like the highlights of someone's life, like okay, like Alex, what are the things you've done to get your physique? It's like I'm going to show you the basics, but the real strength in numbers is those little details that I was doing. I was talking to my father about this because my dad my uncle is like mentally like retarded. That's like the label. He's a grown man, but he's like a 6-7 year old in terms of like mental like IQ and just like stuff, right? And my dad was saying, I was talking to him yesterday, I'm like, we were talking about this matter, how like you can follow someone's life, their tips, but it's not going to get you to the same place. And he's like, you know what, like in terms of me being a business owner, in terms of my father being a business owner, yes, I went to college, yes, I did those things, but I think that something small like having a brother who's mentally retarded, like that played a huge role for me because it made me appreciate the little things. Because he his brother, my uncle, he's always positive, he's always, just smiling and good energy, and it's like you don't need a lot to be happy. You can literally not have much and be happy. So I don't want to make this video too long and run on, and I guess we covered and traversed some different subjects and stuff, but man, it's a beautiful day out here. And I just think it's like the little things in life, like the best things in life usually aren't the yacht, the car, like the best things are usually the little things, like when you haven't seen that person in a while, when you give them a hug, when someone calls you unexpectedly, like that's like the best things in life. Usually it's those little things. So the sooner you can appreciate those things, yeah, the happier you'll be. But just keep going, bro. Like I say a lot, but like keep going, because it's gonna get tough. I promise you that. But you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep those fists up in that fight, because you never know. It could be round 11 in the boxing fight. It could be round 2. But unless you keep those fists up and you keep going, like you'll never know. So do the hard stuff. You're not gonna feel like it, but keep doing the hard stuff. And yeah, be good to this world. Like we're only around we're really around not too long if you look at it like on a grander scale, a bigger time horizon. We're not there that long, so be good while you're here on this earth. Hold the door, compliment those people, just like smile, because like you can be negative and stuff, but what is depression, anxiety, like what does that negativity really have to offer this world? Because you might smile, you might say like, hey, like I don't know, I'm thinking of like an example, like you say you see someone, you'd be like, man, like you look really good, or it's been a while, how is that like hobby that you were doing? Say they were playing like piano, for instance, like how's the piano going? You still enjoying that? Like that little gesture can go a long way, and it could be the reason why someone keeps going, keeps trying to work on that piano dream that they have. So be good, and I always believe like if you be good to this world, like you will receive good back. And you're not going to be good forever. You're not going to be able to be good in this world forever. You might have an unexpected life event, a situation, who knows what happens, but just be good to this world. And I really believe like if you're good to this world, you'll you'll have a favorable outcome in life. So yeah, that's what I got.